Oh, yeah. Freak out, freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
49er Mind is it's not just a thought process, but a way of life. 49er Mind. 49er Mind. Can't shake it. It's 49er Mind that I got. It's 49er Shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A written go session about our ready to go to session with some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how it's been in the spot. Let's all that back, all that crack, all that strip, fumble sack, or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the story on, as long as the story aligns with a 49er Mind. 49er Minded. It's not just a thought process, 49er Minded, but a way of life. The Shar. 49er Minded. Way of life. 49er Minded.
Yo, what is up, everybody? We are here. We're live. Welcome to another edition of 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. The first time I've done this in a long time. I don't think I've ever done this, bringing a fan from opposing fan base onto the channel. So without further ado, I got to introduce really great guy, by the way. I'm going to have him up top because when I had you on the bottom, it kind of blocked your name out a little bit. So we got Levi, who goes by Darwin's Raven. He's a big Baltimore Ravens fan, and he knows a lot about his team. He's very passionate, great dude. And of course, we got Aaron for 49ers First Takes podcast here. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What up?
What up, man? Thanks for having me on. I'm honored.
Oh yeah, it's great to have you on, man. Just we met on maybe Ryan's channel on one of those late night streams or something, or maybe Brian Kolb's channel, and
Joe Stevens.
Yeah, we're just all goofing off and having a little fun there. I go on there every once in a blue moon and saw you on there. I was like, okay, cool. It's cool to see another fan from a different fan base and that's passionate about his team,
We're somewhat of a rare breed, outside of Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, living in California, I don't really call it, not that the Ravens aren't a stoic franchise or anything like that would attract other fans, but I haven't seen too many Baltimore Ravens fans or met too many people that told me they are Ravens fans. But let everybody know where you're from and growing up, how you became a Ravens fan. You can let everybody know.
Yeah, we've traditionally, especially before Lamar, we've always been known as a smaller market team. Is something we've struggled with. Lamar brought a huge increase, but I was born in Baltimore. I bounced around all throughout my life a little bit, but when I played football, I connected to defense and that deep tradition of Baltimore just developing through the draft. I fell in love with when I was younger on film, and watching that 2000 defense, how could you not become a fan, right? Death on Wings, as their nickname used to be for us, and it's I dream of being a scout one day. Hopefully, it'd be, of course, great to be for the Baltimore Ravens, but we'll take anywhere. Money
talks, as they say. Let me say what's up to some people who've been waiting patiently in the chat. We got a whole bunch of people up here. We got Nathan Banks says hello all. So we got there you go. Darwin's Ravens in the chat. Said, did you pay someone to make that Fiverr? Are you talking about the theme song or?
Yeah, that was fire, my guy.
You know what? A friend of mine made that. Well, the video I had done on Fiverr, the editing and all that, but the song and everything else was just done by a friend of mine who's a big Niner fan that puts out a lot of hip hop stuff. His name's 49er Dude. He has a YouTube channel. Had him on my show multiple times. Based in LA, great guy, and he just offered to do the song for me. I picked out the beat. Actually, he gave me multiple instrumental beats to pick out, and I picked that beat out, and he put the lyrics to it, and that was it. So we got Bebop. Bebop's here, says, "Oh yeah." We got David McNiner. What's up, bro? Says, "Let's effing go." What's up, Bash? Go Niners. Tommy Huxley's here. I'm not gonna repeat it. He's always saying something weird, man. This guy. David Corona's here. Now I'm really hyped up. What up, everyone? 49ers all day, every day. David Corona's in Corona, California, Crown Town. Corona means crown in Spanish. Actually. Oh, okay. There you go. What's up, Red Jet Shell? She's been on the channel before. Great 49er fan. She's going to the game. She's going to be at Levi Stadium Monday night for Christmas evening.
Tell us
Packers
where you're
received-
at. I'll be looking for you. I'm already looking for someone in section 208 at Levi Stadium. So.
Oh, you're gonna be at the game. Oh wow. Okay, there you go.
No, I'm not. But is it? I'm sorry. Gosh, one of the other Davids. Or from last night's show. I'm so sorry. He's going to be sitting in 208. He's going to his first Niners game. I'm even excited for him.
I've never been to one, and I'm 44 years
David
old.
Corona.
Oh, David Corona. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
David
he's going
Corona
to his first 49ers game.
He did mention that he's going to a game. Okay, there you go.
I'm looking for him hard, my guys.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I've been to plenty of Niner games. I've never ever been on TV per se where they actually show you in the crowd. You know, I mean, of course, when they pan, they show everybody. You're like a little speck of dust on the TV.
I swear to
screen,
God, I saw Raj in the crowd a couple weeks ago.
Really?
They panned. Yeah, somebody caught my eye. It was real quick on television. That just did one of these, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" And then it was gone. And I was like, "That would have been intense."
You know, it's funny on that exact topic. I was talking to a company recently. We were talking about advertising expenses. And I said, you know, with how cheap those Panther tickets are, you could probably send 3 employees to a Panthers game, buy an entire section out, and you will obviously get put on ESPN. And that's probably worth 10 times anything you can get advertising per dollar on, basically. You know, 3 people just in the middle of a section, like.
You know all these ins and outs when it comes to things.
I'm always trying to make money.
I need to talk to you more often. I say that.
It's not about making friends, man. It's about making money.
There you go. Who else is up in the chat? I'm sure I missed a few other people. What's up, Brandon? Brandon Ferragno was on with him last night.
Brandon, don't call me Lou Ferrigno. What up?
Yeah. Well, he says Ferragno. I guess that's the original way to pronounce it, but Ferrigno is more of the Americanized way to say it.
A little 45 Niner fact. I actually met Steve Mariucci.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Yeah. He was actually the very first celebrity I met working for Delta Airlines. I met him up in Marquette, Michigan.
Is he as much of a crackhead acting self as he is in
Dude,
TV?
He was honestly one of the most humble and nicest
really nice
guys I've ever met. Like, I guess that's like kind of his hometown area a little bit. If
Well, and he was coaching in Detroit at one point, and so at one point he was living in West Bloomfield, which is right by where my uncle lives. I didn't run into him. I only visited there a few times, but I thought it was kind of cool. And I know a lot of people had met him actually. One guy knew.
I've got his autograph somewhere.
One guy I know knew him really, really well and just said he was a really nice guy. And I had a chance. I saw him at training camp actually this past summer, but I didn't know it was him because he had his back turned and his hair was just super gray, and I hadn't seen him on TV in years, so I didn't know he had the just like super gray hair, you know. Yeah, Steve Mariucci is probably one of the most in my opinion, one of the most likable 49er coaches in terms of personality. He was successful, just he didn't win it all.
I think at the time he was an NFL analyst currently at that time.
He was. Yeah, he was an analyst. Raphael's here, very loyal viewers, says like and subscribe, everyone. Appreciate you. And I do have everybody's YouTube channels in the description box of this video. So if you're not subscribed to Darwin's Raven or 49ers First Takes podcast, definitely hit those channels up. Who is up? What's up, Jupiter? Jupiter's here. Saying hello to Aaron. Not to Darwin or me. What up, Carcast?
You guys are making dude, look at my face. I'm blushing.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say something about your lighting. I was like, you looked a little different because I just saw this like red tint on you.
Yeah, but then
I thought you changed your lighting.
I shaved my face. I got a haircut.
Okay, look at
yo. Guess what? Get this. Discovered some grays finally. They were hidden. Because the hair is now shorter on the sides, it was like, oh my, there's like, I have like 3 or 4 strands just kind of sitting here and over here. One like, dude, I don't have a ton of gray hair for my age at 44. It's kind of crazy. So,
yeah, you look young, my guy.
Thanks.
You look younger than me, in my opinion. I'm like 33. So.
Give me a second, guys. This is something just happened. Just give me, you guys will do a good job without me. Just give me about 30 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. I'm sorry, I was just looking over my notes real quick.
I'll just say this. This is my opinion on the game. There's a couple different ways I see this game going. I either see Niners kind of stepping up to the challenge and kind of doing what they've done against all the good teams they face this year, or I see a game where the Niners are going to have a defensive struggle with Lamar, and it's going to be like all hands on deck, including the offense, special teams, because the Niners play 2 ways against mobile quarterbacks. They either do really good or they play horrible against guys that can move. They gave up a ton of rushing yards last week against the Cardinals. So, I mean, Lamar is a superior athlete. So either the Niners really show out and they kind of cause Lamar to have like some issues with his, fumbling or whatever, and or it's going to be one of those games where it's just like there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of just like stress on the 49er fan side of the things. I'm it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's totally up in the air in terms of stopping. I don't think they can stop Lamar Jackson from running, but maybe if they're lucky, they can minimize him. And yeah, last week's showing wasn't too encouraging.
I'm guessing Fred Warner going to have the primary QB spy duties for the 49ers defense for the night. I have a weird feeling.
Hell, give Lamar, it to Dre Greenlaw. I'd rather have a Greenlaw on him.
The difference with Lamar's running from this year, of course, he's on pace for like a 3,800 yard passing, 900 yard rushing, first in NFL history under Todd Monken's offense. But the difference in his running, while yes, they like to use him in the red zone on more called plays, most of his running is because they're spreading guys out. And it's what you teach every young quarterback. If you see backs, you're free to run, basically. Spread them out. And if everyone's got their backs to you in man coverage, you're going to have a lane eventually. And then Lamar's better than anyone in making at least one guy miss, Oh,
he's the modern day version of a Michael Vick, you could basically say. I mean,
oh yeah.
And what I was going to say was that the 49ers only give up 3.8 yards per carry versus quarterbacks for the season. But all that can change when you face Lamar Jackson. So trust me, as confident as we are in our defense, there's definitely some things to be worried about.
If the Niners do come away though with a secure win in this game, I expect the Super Bowl talk to explode from your fan base, and rightfully so. Like you
guys are the best team we've faced all year. Now we kept saying that with other teams, but I really truly believe.
I've been telling
defense and offense.
This is the only one I've been worried about. If I'm not mistaken, of course, the Ravens defense, lowest amount of yards per play in the NFL this season, like approaching historic numbers. But of course, on the opposite side, the Niners, yards per play on offense, they're blowing everyone out of the water. Ayuk only 50 receptions for over 1,000 yards. That's like 30 less receptions than everyone else that's on that pace, basically. So he's doing it on half the targets. Just the firepower available on your offense. I've talked about this stat a little bit earlier in the week. There's a stat called DVOA that measures like how good two teams are and compares and creates like a score for the matchup. This is the highest rated DVO game in like 16 years, dating back basically to the undefeated Patriots versus the undefeated Colts, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning back in 2007, basically. So this really is potentially game of the decade.
Oh, game of the decade! Damn, hot diggity damn! I guess we're kind of downplaying the matchup. I mean, we are saying it's a game of the year, though. You can definitely say that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I know you mentioned Super Bowl or whatever. I wanted to go back to the Super Bowl that we played against you guys. When it was Harbaugh versus Harbaugh, and it was on my
Harbaugh
birthday,
Bowl.
actually. The Harbaugh Bowl.
It was a painful day, man.
It was
great. It was great for you. It wasn't.
It ended great. It wasn't great till the final 7 seconds or so, like last second, play.
Yeah, I hated the play calls at the very end, though. Oh, bro, I'm still mad at that.
Run the ball with Gore. No, we're gonna throw fades to a guy that
throw it to Vernon Davis or run it to Gore. Do something
don't know.
different.
Of course, everyone knows the lights went out, but the entire
Turn off
third
the
quarter,
lights in here,
the Ravens didn't have headsets. Our headsets went out, if I'm not mistaken, after that. So that's another reason why the Ravens were struggling. But Ray Lewis got bailed out by Danielle Ellerbe pretty hard on that final play. And I'm not going to say that Ray Lewis might not have been taking stuff like Peyton Manning in that final magical run.
You mean the deer antler? What were they saying that he was using deer antler spray or whatever?
I looked it up. So what it is supposedly when they grow in fresh antlers, there's like this velvety material that contains a protein that is makes the antlers grow more. And so they would like humanely, I'm going to put that in quotations, chat, like shave off this stuff and then make a medicine out of it.
What do they like? Catch the deer, shave its antlers, and then let it go? Like, what's up?
Like supposedly, like this is.
Who would have thought that?
I started school for nuclear medicine. Me and my physiology and anatomy teacher, we would have some nice conversations. Me and him both came to the same agreement. Peyton Manning showed obvious signs of HGH usage. in that final Super Bowl run.
Well, Peyton Manning was just basically a game manager that year.
His head was really big, so I don't know. I mean, to test to see if steroids make your head grow. Peyton's head was already giant.
That's the primary after effect of HGH. Is actually it creates increased growth of the frontal part here of the skull, and so that increase in his frontal skull is basically due to the after effects of HGH.
Go look at the wrestler Triple H in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah,
when his forehead started to grow like out.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
Like, oh no, Andre the Giant effect to his forehead.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the direct after effect of HGH.
We got some people that trickled in here. Really good buddy of mine has been on the channel multiple times. John V, the Locker Room Rant over in Ohio, says Merry Christmas to all the 49er faithful. Up in the chat, peace, love to you all, traveling grace to all travelers. Appreciate you, bro. Kenny Cope is here. What's up, Kenny 49er Cope? She said, he said 5. Avatar saying, what's up, bro? Long time no see. Says hello, guys. Last bird to fry on Monday and step closer to the number 1 seed. Well, we have the number 1 seed. We just haven't clinched it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Step closer to clinching it.
I don't know if
Daytona's here. Go ahead.
I would say I don't know if y'all have seen. Technically, the only team on the AFC side that's actually clinched playoff spot is the Baltimore Ravens. The AFC is wide open right now for playoffs.
It's funny that you say that because in the beginning of the season, my brother was like, "Yo, you guys got the NFC. It's the AFC is going to be a battle this year." And then there was all the injuries. Now it's like the NFC looks like more of a battle.
Yeah, I think
once thought
3 teams, you, Eagles, and I'm guessing it's got to be the Cowboys if I remember. Only 3 teams on the NFC side have locked technically a playoff spot. But the thing is this, if we don't beat y'all, not only can Cleveland potentially take the number 1 seed from us, but weirdly through tiebreaker rules, Kansas City could. Baltimore's win number 1 seed percentage, if I remember correctly, if we don't win, drops from like 61% to like 30ish. So drops in half. We got some weird tiebreakers that are going on.
That is pretty weird. Let me see what's up to Nighthawk Afterburner. If you're familiar with the Rombo show, this guy's a very well-known caller from that show from years past. He'd be a legend in these YouTube streets. We got Logan says hi, Darwin. I believe Logan's watching from your channel.
Yeah, he is.
Wow,
there you go.
You got Wolverine in the chat. No way. No,
I don't think I missed anybody. If anybody else wants a shout out, there's a lot of silent viewers I noticed on my show. So it's like, I get an okay amount of viewers from time to time, but only so many people hop in the chat, or only so many people hit the like button. It's very important, very instrumental for people to hit the like button. And when you hit the like button, it just gives us more suggestions for more views on the sidebars of the YouTube videos. So,
and if you're on Instagram, come over to YouTube. If you're on Bashar's Instagram, come over to his channel.
Oh yeah, so that's another thing. I'm streaming on Instagram now as well. It's a new feature that they implemented. So shout out to anybody who's watching on Instagram, but just make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to the regular YouTube channel. If you are not on there, you can join the chat on there. And there's no way for me to actually display the Instagram chats on StreamYard on this broadcast. It doesn't let me do it, but I hear there is a way to. Now they implemented the Twitter chat. So if anybody's chatting on Twitter and they're watching on Twitter, I can throw it up on the screen, but I haven't seen that just yet. But they said it's a new feature. Thank you very much, Nighthawk. John V says, I wonder if they understand our language. Who are you talking about? I don't know what language he's speaking of, but let us know, John V. Clarify that one. Yeah, but I mean, I mentioned the Super Bowl that we played. That was just like, I was so pissed when you guys ran that kickoff on us. I literally went to the backyard and I sat down by myself for like 5 minutes. Then I went back inside and watched the rest of the game. And that was just that was a tough Super Bowl to watch. It was fun for a minute, but then at the end it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, hey, shout out to you guys. You guys sealed the deal, though. I mean, Ray Lewis was a great player, and Flacco, actually, you know what? Flacco, in my opinion, was the X factor. He played the game of his life in that Super Bowl, dude. I was so pissed that
the entire playoff.
I didn't know he was so mobile. He was like running circles around our pass rushers, dude. I'm like, why is this guy not getting sacked?
6'5", man. He's like not quite Ben Roethlisberger, but pretty close.
The Ravens also implemented the blueprint and how to play Colin Kaepernick in that game, because from that point forward, his production and his ability to play well against NFL defenses, that was where it kind of took the drop. You know, they hit him on every play, every handoff, every mesh point, whatever you want to call it. They were putting a hat on him. And that was kind of the beginning of the end of the Colin Kaepernick ride, slowly but surely, because the Ravens kind of were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Every time
That's also that
ball.
Ray Lewis mentality. Though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, Ray Lewis was such a beast. Dude.
I'll never forget. That's actually how we shut down Wes Welker and the New England Patriots on that same playoff run. I'll never forget watching that tape. What they would do is they would wherever Welker went, they would take the outside linebacker and basically let him kind of shade off, go offline. And then so it'd be like Terrell Suggs, Jarrett Johnson, Ray Lewis, somebody, and they would hit Welker, like basically tackle him at the line of scrimmage. And so sledgehammer, they basically said, hey, we just got to knock off the timing of that route by 2 seconds. And it throws everything off. And I watched like Terrell Suggs just literally smash Wes Welker over and over again in that game. And it made all the difference.
Yep. Yeah, Suggs was a really great player to watch. He was getting on my nerves because in that Super Bowl, he basically took away that whole read option crap that we used to do with Kaepernick. He kind of... He was a big reason why we weren't effective with that. We got a Ravens fan from your chat says, "Hey Levi, one day closer to the game."
Oh God!
There you go.
I don't know if y'all know this too. Lamar only needs, I believe, if I remember correctly, 23 yards to pass his previous career high in season passing yards. So again,
okay,
like history about to be made slightly with this game. Not only potentially with Beak and the sacks, but as well as Lamar, passing his personal records on Christmas.
Yeah.
I feel like the winner of this game, quarterback-wise, wins the MVP.
And that's what I've been saying. I
feel like if Lamar has one of, even in a loss though, Lamar could, essentially, if he has one of those crazy like I'm going to throw for 300 and 3 touchdowns and run for 100,
and just somehow the defense lets M down and becomes a shootout somehow.
Yeah, but if Brock has a game where like everybody knows how good the Ravens defense is, they have over 50 sacks. They come at you from all different angles, right? They play a lot of zone from what Kyle Shanahan said, and it's all about can you get the guys to run through the zone and get them the ball? But it's their defensive pass rush that kind of works in unison with that zone coverage, which doesn't always allow guys to get the ball. So,
which is a lot of credit to our defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald.
This is going to be an interesting game because it's like we don't have a ton of history with the Ravens. We have a little bit. Like that Eagles game, I think to most Niners fans was the game of the year. But I have a feeling, if the Niners win this game and Brock plays well and he can essentially lock himself in an MVP, I think this will end up being that game. I'm nervous. I get nervous for every game. Everybody knows that, but the Ravens definitely.
I'll tell you one thing that's made me slightly nervous about playing y'all is the Ravens have struggled at outside runs heavily. Clowney, of course, kind of had to start into a starting position on that outside. And I've been telling everyone, if Kyron Williams puts up 114 on us, McCaffrey to the outside is going to be an issue. And
Kyle will bang on it if it works.
And we also run. In my opinion, at times we run even better on the outside when Debo gets the ball in certain games. Every now and then he'll have a nice little burst on the outside. A lot of fun to watch. I was gonna say though, now because you mentioned Wes Welker, right? Because not that we have Wes Welker, but we do kind of have our own little pseudo Wes Welker in Christian McCaffrey when he plays in the slot. So does that scare you a little bit as a Ravens fan?
Oh, absolutely. Because the thing is this: your Kyle Shanahan's taking advantage of spacing, basically, is what he's doing with the outside runs. The McCaffrey, who, like literally, like you said, he is a slot wide receiver. He can play anywhere on the field. And like I said, and 49ers First Take just said it. If Kyle Shanahan sees something, he banks on it. The Niners use pre-snap motion 80% of the time. In comparison, the Ravens use it 57%. No team forces more communication issues than the 49ers. It's why, honestly, you got to give credit to Kyle Shanahan. He is creating good open looks half the time through good play calling, good coaching, play design all across the board. So if the Ravens are going to have to do a lot of communication, and it's terrifying. And in Levi Stadium, it's going to be loud.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, shout out to Brian Culp. He says, smash the like button, everyone. We really appreciate you, bro. Check out Brian Culp's channel. He does the 49ers Coffee Talk on Saturday and Sunday. He said Levi Stadium will be rocking Christmas night. I hope so. We'll see.
We played most of our games in Baltimore up until this point, so it'd be nice to have the Baltimore Ravens in our place for a change.
It's very rare that we play. Yeah,
because it's always that misty, cold, wintry just garbagey
Wind
weather,
swirling.
and it's perfect for what the Ravens do. No one wants to hit when it's cold and wet.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Out the Philly special cards. I'm saying yo. So I believe he's from Darwin's channel, Levi's channel. What else we got? We got Avatar Singh says everyone was talking about the Dallas and Philadelphia before the game against us, and what happened? There'll be no different this time. Okay, he's talking to smack. Well, hey, I hope he's right.
I don't know if y'all seen what Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, was saying.
I saw about half of what he said. Well,
dude, he's just straight disrespectful to the Ravens. Basically saying that if this was a Super Bowl preview, it's a shit game. The Niners are, as long as they're healthy, gonna just, which he says they should. I think Tariq Armstead might be the big question mark for y'all, if I remember correctly.
He's out. He's ruled out.
Yeah,
Armstead's out.
Said that y'all should dismantle the Ravens and just like apps. It's one of those ones. If the Ravens do win, I 100% plan, guys, to make a T-shirt with his face and his words on it. I'm gonna sell it in my merch store.
I'll be honest though, that was the only time that Florio ever said anything that was favorable to me as a 49er fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm
hater.
He hates y'all.
He's such a hater. Yeah.
I told everyone, I'm like, I don't know what he's been smoking, but I need some of that.
What
like,
49ers
I
do?
can't be like confident, but
he's one of those guys he's like one of those guys like that Nick Wright. Nerdy guys who probably got their books dumped in school all the time, probably got wedgies, somebody pants them, whatever. And so they get on a national television or like a syndicated broadcast, and they're like, okay, I was a nerd, so now I'm gonna be like a complete and utter douche canoe when I'm on television. Just to get back at everybody, and they do a great job at it because everybody hates them. So
you're a douche canoe, huh?
Yeah, douche canoe.
I was gonna say something Nick Wright said something like because they were talking about the MVP race, right? And for 49er fans, they were talking about CMC and Brock Purdy, but he said that 49er fans would rather have CMC as the running back and then Sam Darnold as the quarterback. And I'm like, you know what? This Niner team over the years, not that we're getting CMC production without him, but we've had good production from the running back position though, without a superstar. But I would definitely much rather have Brock Purdy as a quarterback over Darnold and CMC. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know about you, Aaron, but
I don't listen to anything that idiot says. I boycott ESPN. The only time I watch ESPN is if there was like a 49ers having their parade or something and they're showing it.
He's throwing parades.
I report of 40 ESPN.
Yeah, I'd rather watch NFL Network because at least on NFL Network, like some of their guys actually give the 49ers props once in a while, like so I can watch them and they're fair. ESPN, it's just a bunch of like guys who, like the Stephen A's or like Skip Bayless when they're there. They're all about pushing their little quirky ass narrative and their weird personality traits on you. And it's like, it's not even about the sports half the time. It's about, I've got to say something.
One of the reasons I got into it is because I got sick of the very few people that knew the Baltimore Ravens didn't really know the Baltimore Ravens. And I was like, there's really no one that can talk, I feel like, really well for the Baltimore Ravens. That's half the reason I got into this.
Dude, and you know what? It's good because like I said, me and Bash were talking, like you don't have the oversaturation like the Niner fan base does, where you have like 45 to 70 content creators.
He's the only Ravens content creator on YouTube, so we're honored to have him.
Hey, we got Ingram and
who's your top guy? Who's your top content creator on YouTube? I don't know the names of them.
It's got to be Ingram Raven. I think he's our biggest content creator. Oh, maybe Sarah Ellison. She's got a huge podcast. She's one of the ones I would love to be on her podcast one day. Then we got another guy, Sip2 Tally. We call him Coach. I know y'all got a guy you call Coach, I think, as well over there in San Fran.
Oh, you're talking about
that's literally the only 3 Baltimore Raven content creators I even know of.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say I'm surprised because you guys have had success. You guys have had better recent success than we had. You guys at least won Super Bowls in the 2000s, so.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. Let me say what's up to some people who just hopped in. We got Stacy Lamate, if I'm saying that right. New to the channel, says Go Niners. If you're brand new to the channel, just hit the like and subscribe button. We appreciate you. Bang, bang, Niner gang. And Brian Kolb says Levi is my favorite Ravens content creator. Mine too. That's why I brought him on. And he's
the only one I know so far, so I'm gonna go with
by default.
We're rare birds. We ain't no Cardinals.
Seem cool. I usually can make up my mind on someone's personality within the first 15 minutes of talking to them. I'm either like, this guy's a complete toolbox and I don't want to deal with him anymore, or I could actually go to a game in opposing stadiums and we could totally be like, shake hands
Yep.
after and be like, good game, whatever.
I
Instead of
like
being
to
like,
consider.
I'm going
Sorry.
to go ahead.
No. I was just saying I like to consider myself a fan of football, but also I'm a Ravens fan, and so
Yep.
that with that comes a lot of respect for other teams and that's actually I've gained a lot. A lot of my subscribers are not Raven fans. They're Colts fans. They're Eagle fans. That I've gained a lot of followers because I don't shit talk other teams. I give respect where respect's due. I have a little fun here and there, have some jokes, but I'm not a shit talker. I don't enjoy it.
Oh wow,
We have a guy in the Rams community that's a lot like you. His name is Payo Time.
Payo Time.
Oh yeah, I did a preview show and
really good guy.
You collab with Payo Time. Okay.
What's crazy is I just clipped it actually. It's a short on my channel on Payo Time's preview show. I said we were talking about Sky final score predictions. He called the overtime, and I said, you know what? With this rain, I got a big feeling we're gonna see a big special teams play. And then I don't know if y'all know, Tylan Wallace overtime took it to the house for the walk-off punt return.
How many times it looked like he was going to trip or fall and he just stood up? Oh my God.
The craziest thing is I've been actually critical of Devin Duvernay's efforts this season as a punt returner. He's in a free agent season, and I feel like he hasn't been giving that same effort that earned him the Pro Bowl nod last year. And then Tylan Wallace got his first real efforts in that game, 3 returns, and he took 1 of the 3 to the house.
Yeah, the 49ers return game has been quite dismal this year. I've been
horrible,
very pissy watching the games. I mean, Ray McLeod, whenever he tried to return a kickoff, that's like one of the few things that I'd cuss at the TV for is watching Ray McLeod trying to return a kickoff or punt. And he got hurt. I feel bad that he got hurt, but Debo's doing much better on kickoff returns. And I heard they even had Brendan Ayuk
returning.
He's the past few games. Yeah, he's averaging about 25
That's
or 25.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, they even had
for me because I don't want him to get hurt. He looks pretty solid doing it, but
he looks good doing it, man. And also another thing is they had Ayuk practicing returns this week too in practice. 49er dude, what's up? So Darwin's whose real name is Levi, the Ravens fan, was asking me. You were asking me about yeah. He was asking me who did the song, who did the intro. So the rapper who did my intro for my channel is right here, 49er dude.
Okay.
He says you better be nervous. Now he's about to whip that ass. He's talking
fire
that smack.
Song, my guy. Fire song. Even really I was cool, you couldn't see me behind the scenes, guys, but I was sitting. I was like,
we were both doing the same.
You were like, hey. All right, so we got another Ravens fan. Here we go. Be More Ravens Gunny says we are not them. He's talking about, or he or she's talking about the other teams that we played that we smashed on.
I respect that.
I noticed a lot of teams the Niners have played. If they are weaker teams, so to speak, they do seem to play up to the Niners, and sometimes the Niners play down to them. But this season they have, when it's been an advertised game against a really good team, the 49ers have played up to their competition. So hopefully it's just the case this week, this Monday. But this is the one game that has me worried the most. Obviously, I mean the Eagles game obviously had me worried, but before the game, and this game's right up there.
Of course, a lot of people have, it's kind of more vocal. Kyle Hamilton versus George Kittle. Kyle Hamilton, the 6'4", like 230, 240 safety, having a Pro Bowl year. Kittle, of course, having another Pro Bowl year as well. But the one thing to keep a more eye on that you might not hear about on NFL or any other outlet, I'm going to tell you, is the Ravens guy. Third string inside linebacker Malik Harrison been out the past few games, and it's why the Ravens have been struggling more at that outside run defense. And Harbaugh actually addressed it in his press conference yesterday, if you watched it live, him being back and basically a sub package where they take Clowney out of the game and they sub the third string inside linebacker and the outside linebacker position to Sam. And so keep an eye on that. That's basically I feel like would predetermine the Ravens are in a run base package, and look for maybe audibles. If the 49ers are smart, look for the audibles if they see Malik Harrison out in the field, maybe to some play action.
Okay. Hey, thank you for that tidbit. We got Joey Mahoney's in the chat, says, I get Kyle Williams flashbacks.
Yes.
Whenever I see Ronnie Bell fumbling the punt.
Yes.
I mean, where's number 10? I wish he had a different number.
I was so mad last week because I called it in my brain. I was like, watch this dumbass fumble. Right? And
man, how do y'all feel about Ronnie?
I don't like Ronnie Bell as a returner at all.
Okay.
He's horrible. He's too small.
He caught my eye in
he's not blazing fast either.
I actually featured him on my draft special, literally only because I was like, yo, he made a massive one-hand catch out of nowhere accidentally at the combine. And it caught the eye of all the scouts.
Yeah. His dad's a wide receiver coach at a smaller college, so he definitely has the fundamentals down. Just a lot of Niner fans don't like him as a returner. That's all.
Niners need to retire the number 10 just altogether between
Yeah,
him and Garoppolo.
and no, just put it as a blank. Don't even put a name under it though. Number 10, and just keep it blank. Because we don't want Kyle Williams or Jimmy's name on the stadium or the Ring of Fame or whatever.
D&D, do not discuss.
Exactly. So Red Jet Shell says, honestly, this is the statement game and how fitting both teams are at their highest levels, respectively. Totally agree. I mean, I've heard it throughout the years that people say that Lamar Jackson kind of does everything on his own. He doesn't have weapons. And are you somebody like during draft day where you're screaming to draft a wide receiver, or like during free agency, like you're like, come on, let's bring more weapons into Baltimore? Or are you? Well, you guys did get Odell Beckham Jr. You guys got him in the mix.
Yeah, we signed him like a 1 year 13, but it's actually more like a 2 or 3 year deal with void years built onto it. So it doesn't cost us much this year, but next year it cost the Ravens a lot heavily. Was that Super Bowl move? I tell a lot of Ravens fans this. Some Raven fans, are like, oh, OBJ is doing nothing. I could care less how many catches OBJ finishes the regular season with. Yards does not matter. None of it matters. As long as OBJ turns into playoff OBJ, like you did with the Rams, that's all I care about. The Ravens, of course, took Rashad Bateman in the first round the year before. Zay Flowers this past year. Zay's already broken Torrey Smith's reception record for rookies for Ravens. Wow. Yeah, he's
65 catches for the year.
He's catching up. He's got 680 right now. He needs 841 to break the yardage of Torrey Smith in his rookie season. So Zay's reaching for Ravens records right now. Last year there was a statement that came out. Eric DeCosta made a statement about the Ravens wide receivers, and it got misinterpreted. Yeah, they made it seem like he didn't believe in his wide receivers. But what he was truly saying is, no, I feel like between Devin Duvernay, Bateman, Prochet, Wallace, who took it to the house. These guys, I feel like we have a lot of guys and we need to give them a chance to develop. Of course, under Giro, he gave nobody any chance to develop at all, especially at a wide receiver perspective.
Greg Roman, Niner fans don't like him either.
Dude, do not say Greg Roman, please, man. You're going to open up a can of words. I couldn't stand him as our D coordinator.
Grossi raided me actually one time, and I got Grossi's raid chat to start a Fire Greg Roman chat in my chat. It was one of the highlights.
Dude, real talk. After we lost the Super Bowl to you guys, I was at the home opener for the 49ers Colts game. The account stick, that is. Sorry, my bad. I don't know why I said Levi's. Anyways, we lost the Super Bowl to the Ravens, and then we played. I was at Candlestick, for the home opener, the following season. I was so pissed off watching the game and live at the stadium, and I shouted out, "Fire Greg Roman!" These two dudes were sitting behind me. How could you dare say that? He took us to the Super Bowl, blah blah blah. I was like, dude, I can't stand Greg Roman. I think he sucks. I just think somebody that whole Harbaugh era, we could have had somebody better that would have done a much better job.
Basic ass offense.
Some of my critiques of John Harbaugh, they talk about he's a great coach, and now let me say this before I talk anything bad about John Harbaugh. I think John Harbaugh is a great leader of men. I think he fosters a great leadership locker room and really promotes things that develop young men into professionals. Now I think he's made some bad football decisions. But one of the things, of course, is the accountability for Greg Roman and all of that. But oh my gosh, now I already blanked on. I'm so sorry. I forgot even where I was going. I've got so many notes and I started reading them.
Okay. It's okay. It happens to all of us. We get brain farts every now and then.
But it's easy to look good when you have a Hall of Fame GM behind you and Hall of Fame ownership. If you don't know this, Baltimore's only on their second ever GM in franchise history. And it was a very clear line of succession. Eric DeCosta was offered jobs at the Cowboys, the Eagles, tons of front office jobs. But the Cowboys coach Garrett, whenever they paid him extra money to stay behind, and be the next coach in the succession line under what was it, Wade Phillips at the time? No. Mm-hmm. But we did a similar thing with our GM. We paid Eric DeCosta, we call him EDC, to basically wait, and he patiently waited to become the next GM of the Baltimore Ravens. So it's easy to look good when you're drafting Hall of Fame.
Ozzie Newsome was a really, really nice GM for you guys, man, throughout the years.
Oh, love
him. He was a really
Niners
good player
got
too.
A good one in Adam Peters, who's kind of sitting in the wings.
Y'all have made some
Yeah,
really
I'd be
good
curious to
decisions.
see Adam Peters in the full GM role, because from what I hear that he's been responsible for a lot of the 49ers late round picks
Yep.
where they've hit on and had a lot of success on. So, and then they say like the 49ers don't draft well in the first round. Every now and then we may pick up a guy like Bosa or Ayuk, but I'd love to have like a complete draft and finally have a first and second rounder and a third rounder coming up in this draft. So we got picks all across the board. So it's gonna be interesting. We got Penguin Goats, his name, I believe. It says, what the hell is up on your channel? There you go. So
he's a Packers fan. He's actually came in from Grossi Posse.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Shout out to Grossi. Everybody's a big fan of him. Honestly, I need to watch some more of his channel. I only knew about his channel because you guys all met him. And did you meet him? Actually, I know Ryan did.
I've actually never met him.
It's the
funniest part about it. He's rated me so many times, and like I said, I'm trying to collaborate with him as well. Hopefully, we'll get a reply.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about that D tackle that you guys have, because I am worried about that guy. Is it Madubuike or Madubike or?
Yep, Justin Madubuike. We call him for short.
Got 12 sacks so far, man, as a D tackle.
12 sacks, 11 in consecutive games, essentially. Hopefully trying to break NFL history in this Christmas game. Again, you got to give a little bit of credit to Mike McDonald. He runs so many stunts. Michael Pierce, the former nose tackle, of course, came Baltimore, played until he got that giant contract with the Minnesota Vikings, came back to Baltimore. He's got 5.5 sacks on the season, despite being only known as a run-stuffing D tackle. Madubuike, though, the Ravens did try to sign him to an extension this past summer. And he pulled a Joe Flacco. He said, I'm betting on myself. And now he's looking at Hargreaves' money. But he's an absolute animal. He beats you with power, speed, and just Mike McDonald puts him in great positions.
He never hit double-digit sacks prior to the season, I believe. This is the first year where he's really gotten
he's the first
quarterback a whole lot.
Hit double-digit sacks since Terrell Suggs, I want to say somewhere around 2017.
Yeah, what's impressive is he has 30 QB hits too. I know the Ravens as a team have 50 quarterback sacks. The Niners have 43, and the 49ers have a little bit more QB hits than the Ravens do. But yeah, any strong pass rush worries me because I'm not a big fan of our O-line. Yep. Especially up the middle too, though, because Jake Brendel for the 49ers is a bit of an undersized.
I've got him so circled on my notes right now for film study.
I've got to say about the Ravens.
He's an undersized center. I'm not.
My dad. I used to tell my dad because I was a big fan of. I was a big Tony Saragusa guy. No,
the Goose. R.I.P.
Big Italian guy. I'm half Sicilian myself. So there was a story. Yeah, he passed away. My dad passed away too, and it was always the talk. I told my dad about the story that they put out there that said that Saragusa one time didn't shower or wash his ass or something, and he would go against offensive linemen who didn't want to block him because he smelled so.
He was nasty, bro.
My dad, anytime he saw Saragusa on television, all he remembered was, "Oh, isn't it the guy that didn't wash his ass? He'd stunk so bad that guys wouldn't block him." I said, "That's him, the Goose, big Saragusa."
Was that the guy who Joe Montana said people call not Joe Montana, John Madden? Did John Madden say that they'd call him Stinky, or was that a different player? Remember, there was some player in the NFL and they said John Madden was they call him Stinky or something. Maybe it was a different player, but I remember John Madden used to say that a lot.
That 2000 Ravens was different.
Yeah. So Brian Cope, is this your score prediction, Brian? Is that what we're doing here? We're doing a tie as a score prediction. Who do you guys have? Who's your star player in the secondary, though? Let's hear about your secondary and give me a rundown about the Ravens secondary.
I mean, the real star's got to be, again, Kyle Hamilton in his sophomore year, drafted, absolute steal. He was predicted to be a top 5 pick that draft, fell to the Baltimore Ravens at number 14. Like I said, 6'4", 230 around that range. He, a lot of people are talking about he is that different generation, these new guys coming out that are just next level. He plays slot, he plays deep, he can play anything for the Baltimore Ravens. He struggled his first year with some communication issues. I have featured that on my channel. He blew the Miami game last year, if I'm not mistaken, the beginning of the season. But he has been the ace in the hole. He also plays, what happens is he moves up to the line of scrimmage, plays basically as that big nickel guy for the Ravens. Again, 6'4", 230. He's basically the size of a small linebacker.
Yeah, it's a big dude.
But can run with any slot wide receiver as well. But that allows Marcus Williams, the big free agent acquisition from New Orleans a while ago, to play his true free safety. And then Geno Stone, who was leading the NFL in interceptions for a while, to slide into the strong safety, but still play the deep back end. And Geno Stone, one of the best guys at just not letting it get behind him. And that's actually the same reason we signed Marcus Williams, despite, I think, what was it, like Minnesota took him deep when he was in New Orleans his like rookie year. And it was the highlight reel tape, that miracle play. But so that's really the big kicker. Another under the radar guy, Brandon Stevens. You might not even know his name.
I don't.
So
Hopefully I don't hear his name during the game.
He's got one of my favorite stories. So he started at UCLA as a halfback, transferred to SMU as a safety, got drafted by Baltimore as a safety, moved to cornerback and played a lot of slot corner last year. This year, when Marlon Humphrey was down to be start of the season and we were down Marcus Williams, we were down a lot of starters at the beginning of the season, which now it's counter. We're getting healthy late. He is one of the few Ravens that played 100% of snaps. And he is my sneak Pro Bowler that I've been stressing for Raven fans to go vote for. He's played out of his mind, filling in for there. And just, again, to play 100% of the snaps in these games is impressive in its own.
It is, very much is. So shout out to, this is the first time I've seen an actual Twitter comment from the Twitter streams onto the YouTube, but it's a new feature now. So if you are watching from Twitter, you can drop a comment. So Cracker Jack would say Mark Schlereth, I remember him very well, was called Stinky. That's who it was. He's the offensive lineman.
NFL analyst, Mark Schlereth?
Not his analyst. Yeah, he used to be on the Redskins.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really good, actually. He was on the Broncos, too. He was a great guard, like offensive lineman.
Did he play on the Redskins when they won the Super Bowl with Mark Rippon, right?
They did, yep, exactly. And then he won on the Broncos, too. Sammy Ruiz said the same things. So shout out to you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, hit like and subscribe. If you guys are watching other platforms too, it's very important to jump onto the YouTube screen and hit the like and subscribe, because the likes are very, very, very important. So who else is here? What up, Fazil? Fazil, I ran into him at the New York Giants game for the home opener at Levi Stadium this season. Great Niner fan. He's been on the channel before. He says Niners 31-24. So we're already popping up predictions in the chat, which is fine. We'll have our own predictions a little bit later. So
stick around. I got a crazy one.
Oh, okay.
Calling it for all week.
I'll talk about the Niners secondary really quick if you want to chime in.
Go ahead.
After I'm done, go ahead. It's like going into the season, there were so many unknowns about our secondary. Like, a lot of people thought Ambry Thomas was garbage, and he was drafted in the same draft in 2021 he came out of Michigan. A lot of people did. A lot of people gave up on him. Yeah, Ambry Thomas did have some success his rookie year when he first jumped in and played towards the end of the season. And then, things went downhill a bit last year and a whole lot in training camp and preseason this year. But lo and behold, Ambry Thomas has stepped in this season and he's looking really, really nice, man. He's just ever since they took Isaiah Oliver off the field, Ambry Thomas has been I don't know what to say, man. It's surprising a lot of Niner fans out there. Same with Diamador Lenore, man. Diamador Lenore, some Niner fans doubted him, and he came out of Oregon State. That is, Oregon Ducks, and he's doing pretty good too. Both of them they just surprised a lot of Niner fans, and and I know the pass rush does help, but it almost seems like the lineup changed with inserting those two guys back into the lineup. Yeah, and sitting down Isaiah Oliver has changed a lot. And of course, Mooney Ward's having himself a really, really nice season, leading the league in pass breakups. And Tyshawn Gibson's very, very quiet at free safety, but his ratings on PFF in terms of coverage are really, really nice. And I can't recall seeing him.
Have you seen the stat line on him, on Tyshawn? 564 coverage snaps without allowing a touchdown this season.
Yeah, I haven't seen him burnt, and I can't recall him ever getting burnt.
Lenore, I saw earlier. I was actually covering the Niners early season. Lenore at one point had 290 snaps without allowing a touchdown at one point, which again at that time was leading the NFL.
Wow, you're up to date with these stats, man. Are you're a PFF
that one's kind of older because, like I said, 290.
I wanted to add why the whole Ambry Thomas story was interesting. Is his rookie season, Kyle wanted him to come in bigger and stronger. And he came in lighter and weaker. And so he fell into the good old Kyle Shanahan doghouse, so we all know about as
Doghouse.
49er fans. When you're in Kyle's doghouse, it's hard to
Harbaugh's
get
got
out of.
one too. Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Ask Darren
and-
Waller. Ask Raheem Mozart.
Raheem
What,
Mostert.
what happened to Waller?
Darren Waller was originally drafted by the Baltimore Ravens 5th round as a wide receiver. Actually,
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had actually had a couple issues, and that's why I talk about Harbaugh raising. Darren Waller actually credits John Harbaugh for getting his life on track, but we
Okay.
converted Darren Waller to tight end, and then he ended up, of course, in Oakland.
Yeah, he was awesome on the Raiders, man.
Yep. So it's one of those ones I know all about Darren Waller.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, always mute football games. All the announcers do is talk crap about Yeah, I don't listen. I always mute games when I watch them.
Really? I have
The
to
only
hear.
time because I can't stand listening into Chris Collinsworth. What's his name has become so unenthusiastic, and that's why they took him off the playoffs. The guy from Sunday night.
I saw that. They recently, a week or two ago, they took him off.
He's horrible. In touchdown Niners. He's like, really, man? It's like, dude, what happened to you?
Yeah, I saw that.
Al Michaels, he's horrible now.
Al Michaels, yeah. He'll say like 2 words like
he's upset about it too.
Catch,
he's upset.
Touchdown. He literally says like 2 or 3 words.
He doesn't say anything. He has no motivation.
You know what's funny on that topic?
Dude.
I actually met Ron Hill, former vice president of NFL operations, at one point, and I shot an email. I might be able to find this email. Like, I'm talking, guys, probably almost 7 to 10 years ago. But I sent an email to NFL media, basically, when I was on Twitch, saying, hey, people hate your commentators. People hate your broadcasters. Let's take advantage of these big personalities on Twitch, like Ninja, who's a Lions fan, if I'm not mistaken. His girlfriend's a Packers fan. Do you know how many people, cult followers, how many new people you could introduce to football if the colorful commentator was Ninja, for example, for the Lions game? And so I wrote to the NFL media course. They shot me down, said no shit. The next year, Peyton and Eli got their show. And then Pat McAfee. And I actually wrote to NFL or YouTube when they bought the rights to the package. And I said, hey, same deal. You got Grossi, you got Brandon Perna, you got these big guys. And I actually pitched creating an ESPN competitor using these big personalities on YouTube. But, I'll never get a reply to any of these.
Hey, they're gonna take your advice one of these days, and they're never gonna give you the credit for it. They'll be like,
I don't like
who's an annoying Ravens fan that kept emailing us and telling us what to do?
Here, guys.
Let's steal some of his ideas, but not give him credit. Let's do that.
I hate our announcers as well. I hate Greg Papa. Absolutely, just atrocious.
I love it when you call me Greg Papa.
And then we got to listen to Big Mouth in the background, freaking
Tim Ryan.
Tim Ryan. Oh my God.
You hate announcers, bro.
Let's do this Jedi style. Let's just keep bringing in co-hosts till we find one that the fans love.
He sounds like a loudmouth Texan. What's his name?
Tim Ryan.
Ryan. He's yeah. That's all you ever hear in the background with me.
All right. Well, maybe one day we'll find an announcer that you like, Aaron.
We did. Joe Starkey.
What about Ted Robinson? You didn't like Ted Robinson?
I like Ted Robinson.
Yeah.
I like Ted Robinson a lot. I can't stand Greg Papa. He's atrocious.
Well, Danny Golding says otherwise. He says Greg Papa and Tim Ryan are the best.
I don't know if y'all know.
Disagree.
There was a Ravens guy, a Ravens call guy. His name, Steven Sandusky. And when that all went down at Penn State, when that all went down at Penn State, Ravens had to make a comment please stop. This is not the same Sandusky. He was getting, and his family were getting death threats and
But in showbiz though, people have stage names. He should have just went that route, man.
I think he actually ended up somehow getting a promotion out of it from his bosses.
There you go. Okay,
much shit.
All right, so let's follow up with some comments in the chat, and then we'll do our predictions. We got Sammy Ruiz says Papa is always a Raider. He needs to go. Okay, he's another guy who hates Greg Papa. Ted 100%. Robinson and Joe Starkey for Fazil. I had the pleasure of meeting Ted Robinson. Met Ted Robinson at one of the draft parties. Really, really cool guy. I got to take a picture with him. I even mimicked his Alex Smith to Vernon Davis throw in the Saints game, the call for that or whatever. So yeah, he just laughed. It was so funny. Who else is up in here saying some good stuff? Let's see. Oh, we got Charlotte Candy, not Charlotte Flair from WWE, but
I was thinking the same thing. Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, you were thinking the same thing, huh? Charlotte Flair, huh? Ravens flock. You got a little Ravens fan up in the house. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and with respect to what you guys have done, and we always struggle when we play you guys. And I was at one of the games when we beat you guys way back.
Lamar 19-1 against NFC teams now.
Yeah, I know. You guys are. I know.
But y'all are trying to kill all the bird teams this season. One's
let's
got to
read-
give.
Aaron has to read this comment. Here we go.
Aaron hates everyone. He's never happy.
I don't know. He seemed pretty cheerful when I met him backstage for the show.
We had a good conversation before the show started.
I like a small circle of people. And online talking to people is my anxiety is not as bad as when it's like a lot of people in real life because we're kind of far away. You know, I don't know. I'm happy depending on who I'm around. If it's someone I really like,
feed off that energy.
I'm nonstop smiling. If it's listening to Greg Papa and our
Darwin's Raven.
Yeah, like I just like, I want to throw up in my mouth. No, you're good, dude.
I'm not messing with
you. Good. You're good. No, it's
you should be a Niner fan. Come on, man. After this game, we win. You be a Niner fan.
I've been trying to recruit me all year.
Yeah. Hey, we here. Hop on. It's not like we got plenty of content creators here. We got Manuel Marquez Pintor, if I say that right. Says, is Danny Gray still on IR? He'd be nice as a punt.
Right.
I would love to have Danny Gray up in the mix with his 4.3 speed. And he's not a 4.3 guy who's built like a stick figure. He's actually got a nice solid build to him. And Mo Mahoney up in the chat put me on the Danny Gray way before we even drafted him. And I was excited about him. He's excited about him. But I think he might be in that Shanahan doghouse. And you mentioned doghouses with your team too, Levi. Yeah.
Harbaugh is always just, he favors one of my critiques is Harbaugh. Sometimes he favors veteran loyalty and like leadership in the locker room so much that I feel like it inhibits the growth of some of the younger rookies over the years that they're just not getting those snaps.
Yep.
Case in point, Raheem Mozart got put on our practice squad because I think Mark Ingram was on the squad at the time. And, you might now know Gus Edwards. I've been pounding to Gus the Bus for years saying he should be the lead back for the Ravens. Yeah.
He's got a lot of TDs for you guys, man.
Almost every season he averages 5 yards and ends the season with like 800 yards and 5 yards per average carry. It's funny, a little fun story might make us feel old here. You're talking about kick returners. Have y'all seen some of the young studs coming through, including Devin Hester Jr., wide receiver, Athens, Georgia?
I haven't seen him. No, Devin Hester Jr. I haven't seen him.
We also got Cole Pennington. So Chad Pennington's son.
Saw that too.
Marshall. Yep. And then Owen McCown, Josh McCown's son, UTSA.
Guys,
starting
we're old.
We're getting old, guys. You can draft Devin Hester's son to be your next kick returner. 6th round pick.
Knowing the Niners, they'll probably drop the running back instead because that's what they love to do. They love to waste running back picks. Joseph Mahoney says Aaron hated Nick Bosa early in the season. I was a little critical of his non-production. So I can admit that. I'll take the heat for that one.
I was a lot more confident in our chances to win early in the season before the Chase Young acquisition. Something I haven't talked about a little bit. Let me touch on if I have time. The Patrick Ricard. You probably know him, Pro Bowl fullback.
Oh, yeah, fullback.
Todd Monken doesn't traditionally use a fullback like most offenses. So what he's done a lot this offseason is spent time in the tight end room, wide receiver room, and the offensive line room. So what they've done is they are deploying him offline like an extra tight end or offensive lineman because he is 300 pounds. So that's how we were effectively able to negate guys like Myles Garrett, is because wherever Myles Garrett lined up, Patrick Ricard followed and assisted the tackle. And he's
a bulky fullback, that guy, man. He's a load.
How much does he weigh? 300. Do you know his story?
Yeah, he's huge, man.
He's actually an undrafted rookie free agent defensive tackle.
Okay,
again,
that's what it was.
Could not break the starting lineup because Harbaugh's veteran, Derek Wolfe on the squad, if I'm not mistaken, at that time, just signed him. But he couldn't crack the roster, and he was playing pretty well. And the Ravens didn't want to let him go. And they said, hey, man, we really need a fullback. You want to try it? And so he transitioned from defensive tackle to fullback. So that's why he's 300 pounds. And the lead blocker that he is, because he's got that defensive mindset, but as a fullback. But look to watch where he lines up.
I never seen him run the ball, though. I never seen him carry the ball. And now I'm going back to thinking about our fullback, because there's some Niner fans out there who are really high in Kyle Juszczyk, and I don't know. I guess I'm like the oddball who doesn't care about Juszczyk that much.
I love Juszczyk.
Every now and then he throws a nice block, but like when he has the ball in his hands as a runner, for example, he doesn't impress me one bit as a runner. I think he's overpaid for a player that we barely have on the field. I mean, he only plays like 15% of the snaps, it seems like. I don't know. I'm just not a big Juszczyk guy, but I mean, he's a good guy for the locker room and whatever. And some other Niner fans like him, but I like his hands.
Feed there.
What's
You
that?
got a lot of mouths.
We
to
do. We
feed
do.
there
We do.
with that offense. So I like.
I
him.
wouldn't
Of course,
mind them
he
moving
came
on from
Baltimore
him
as well.
I'd just rather get a guy who's cheaper who could do the same thing. I guarantee you we could just draft some fullback, pay him a rookie salary from the 5th round, and he could do get us very similar results.
You go find a tight end. Is what you do.
We had Nick
Nicoletto,
Coletto.
we lost him.
Yep, take a tight end and transition to fullback is what you really.
Or we
do
could get a no-name D tackle and make him a fullback like you guys did.
Baltimore, I don't know if you know this, Baltimore just has a really deep history of taking undrafted rookie free agents. Last year was the first year, in almost 15 years, that an undrafted rookie free agent hasn't made the initial roster for the Baltimore Ravens. 57 is an argument to that history. Bart Scott, of course, an undrafted rookie free agent that made the roster as well.
Wait.
What were we saying, Aaron?
Can't wait.
Yeah. Bart Scott was good, man. I liked him in the Jets too, man. Really
CJ
good.
Mosley, of course, now on the Jets as well.
Yeah, okay. Brian Colbstick. I knew there would be some Niner fans that would get mad at me. He said Juice is elite.
I'd have to go back and find my old Facebook post when y'all originally signed him from Baltimore. Baltimore knew we weren't going to be able to keep him with the way our payroll was. And I can probably find however many years ago that was now. That's probably 5+ years easy. We were happy here for him. We wished him nothing but the best. He was the best fullback in the NFL. I've talked about on some other channels. He's definitely a better outside blocker. That's the thing. The one thing that he has an advantage on, he gets to the outside quicker probably than someone like Ricard would. And in an outside running scheme, that's critical for McCaffrey to not have to slow down his pace, to basically wait for the blocking to set up as much. And of course, he's got great potential as a receiver, always has, going all the way back to Harvard days. That's what he was known for, as playing like a Y back for Harvard. But of course, he's getting older, so he probably has lost a step. I haven't watched him as much recently, but different style. But I feel like he's slow. A great fit.
I don't know. I just think he's, for what we're paying him. I just want more explosion.
He's got to be 19.
Okay, for example, in the last time the 49ers won the Super Bowl, we had a fullback named William Floyd. That guy was a battering ram. He was just
familiar.
William Floyd was so
sick. Bar none, baby.
Bar none from Florida State, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was really good, and then he had an injury, a knee injury, and derailed him. But yeah, it just sucks. But
my
he was
biggest
really good.
Is, as long as everyone comes away healthy in this game, that's my biggest thing. All I care about.
Jawan Jennings and Eric Armstead are going to be out for the 49ers. There's a few. Oren Burks, I believe, is going to be out.
Arthur Mullet's going to be out for the Baltimore Ravens, as well as Jalen Armour Davis. So two kind of key. Arthur Mullet has seen a lot of the snaps in the slot for the Ravens if Kyle Hamilton's not there. A veteran guy we brought in from Pittsburgh actually played really well, I feel like, for the Ravens. But the Ravens use a lot of 3 safety looks with Marcus Williams, Geno Stone, and Kyle Hamilton. And of course, you're going to see Malik Harrison subbed in there a little bit as well. Another guy there's 2 guys no one again knows about for Baltimore, might get their first snaps really this season. Malik Ham, an undrafted rookie free agent, had 2 sacks, if I remember correct, in the preseason against Washington. Really flashed for Baltimore, but went down early. So he's just got activated back to practice, as well as a young man named Demarion Pepe Williams, drafted out of, I believe, Houston last year. Was actually slotted to be the starting nickel corner for the Baltimore Ravens and went down to a knee injury. Again, activated back to practice, but don't know if he really game availability yet. But again, Baltimore's kind of getting healthy at the right time, which week 13 bye really helped that.
So before we do our predictions, I'm just going to give you guys a rundown of the teams really, really quick. So mention the pass rushes and how similar we are to the pass rush. You guys have more sacks than we do. We have a bit more quarterback hits, and we have 109 QB hits. Yeah, you guys have 101, but you guys do have 50 sacks. And I'm worried about your D tackle,
again, I got to give credit McDonald. Other than Madubuike, and maybe Clowney, you probably couldn't name any other Baltimore pass rushers. Again, that's the credit, because despite leading the league in sacks, I think he's the only double-digit guy. They are just getting sacks through good scheming. Kyle Hamilton had 3 sacks in one game from the slot. From that safety. Yeah, he beams from the safety spot.
Now the 49ers pass rating is their QB rating, the passer rating on their defense, on their secondary, is 78, and the Ravens are 75.8. So a lot of similarities in regards to the defenses in terms of rankings and stats and all that. So that's going to be really interesting. Of course, the quarterback position. I mean, we didn't even talk about Brock Purdy. I only want to go now, but we can go for a little bit more. But But Purdy, he's got a 119 quarterback rating, which is he's killing it. 29 TDs, 7 interceptions, highest TD to interception ratio in the NFL.
Yep. He's only second in TDs behind, of course, Allen, who's got double his interceptions.
Yeah, Josh Allen and Mahomes aren't the same guys this year for whatever reason. It's kind of weird. But let me, from a unbiased standpoint, like give me your rundown on Purdy from what you saw last year and from what you're seeing this year from Brock Purdy.
Purdy's making big time throws. I was talking about his stat line earlier in this season. His from snap to release was like, I think at 2.5 or 2.9 seconds at one point. So he just gets the ball out so lightning quick, makes his decisions quick. The only times I really saw him struggling this season was where, of course, he had the concussion in one game, and then in the Bengals game, I think he got a second concussion. It wasn't ruled by the NFL. And It's why I was telling Niners, I was like, y'all got to chill, man. When your peripheral and your central nervous system aren't communicating properly, as someone, again, Tyler Thigpen, I don't know if y'all know, played in my flag football league, former Kansas City, Miami Dolphin quarterback. I walked on to CCU my freshman year as a tight end. It's next level. I could never play a quarterback ever, 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 to keep it real. So I've got nothing but respect for him. He's throwing quick under pressure as well. One of the best quarterbacks, I think, under pressure this season. My big thing I'm telling Ravens, if I could scream anything at the Ravens D line, get your hands up. They're going to play close up to the line. Kyle Hamilton's going to help take away maybe some screen plays and those, McCaffrey out of the backfield, but you've got to get your hands up and try to get in Purdy's passing lanes, or I feel like it's going to be a nightmare. And you've got to be able to stop Kyle Shanahan from gaining positive yards on the first play. If he keeps that offense in a rhythm, there's no stopping that West Coast offense.
100%. Yep. If the Niners make a reasonable gain on first down, that's always a kind of a prelude to them scoring.
Yep.
The more of a long distance move that we got to make on offense, like 3rd and 8, it goes against us. But yeah, I'm all about getting good yards on first down. So that's going to be important in this game. 100%.
I think I told you about this, Joey, already, but he still wants to ask the question. What was up with the Marlon Humphrey quote where he said that he doesn't respect anybody on the 49ers?
Okay, I had to address this the other day as well. I actually addressed it on my R&R, the Raven Recap, a new series I'm trying to start for the Ravens weekly. That was at the beginning of a podcast on Wednesday where they were joking around. And then actually the podcast announcer, for those that were listening and heard that little snippet that was making it around 49ers creators, the guy even called them frauds, but that was them joking at the beginning. It was in a sarcastic tone. If you actually watch the podcast, the very next, Marlon actually stops himself short from saying the Ravens might struggle to score points against the Niners offense. Goes in depth at the next 60 seconds after that clip ends, giving a lot of respect to the Niners and saying, they are who they are, it's not going to be an easy game. So, but one thing I'll give one thing in defense. One of the Ravens said, I think it might've been Lamar, said they didn't like the fact that the Ravens were underdogs in this game.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't like that comment. I think that doesn't give enough respect to the firepower of the Niners offense, Well, of course, I think Lamar's
the team doesn't set the betting lines in Vegas. And 2 evenly matched teams, the home team usually has the advantage on the betting line. That's usually how it is. So, but if he's acting like somebody on the team said something and disrespected his team, that's not the case.
I didn't like that comment. I felt like that was a little too cocky. But the Marlon Humphrey comment's a little blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I think I heard it. Yeah, I heard he did clear it up and just it was sarcastic. He was sarcastic about it, whatever. And people just saw the first part of the interview and they got all pissy about it. So it is what it is. So let's do some score predictions. We're going to start with Darwin's Raven, otherwise known as Levi. Let's go. Let's hear it. Really quick, before you do your prediction, where did the Darwins come from? Because I thought your name was Darwin the whole time.
So I'm a little bit weird guy. I also like a little bit of anime. I've got a lot of friends that watch anime.
Okay, there you go.
But so it's a play, of course, on Charles Darwin because I'm a big science guy. There's also from an anime. It's a guild called Sunset. They're Sunset Ravens from Darwin's game. It's like a phone death game. A little bit of history. Fun. It ends really, really strong and violently, and it starts slow though. So it's like a play on a little bit of everything that I do. So I know it's a little weird.
But let's hear your prediction. And really quick before we do that, We got D Sizzle in the house. If you know what it is, says, let's go. Avenge me, please. Good to see you, bro. Long time no see. And go ahead and drop your score predictions in the chat. And let's hear your prediction, Levi.
All right. So if y'all don't know, a lot of the games I call always seem to end wild. I called that the Eagles Seahawks game the other night where Drew Lock, I was live as that happened. We called Colts, we called the Rams game. My crazy prediction for this game, my score might be off, but the scenario I think is going to pinpoint it. No one wants to go to overtime in Christmas. I think the Ravens make a last-minute touchdown and go for 2, making it final score Ravens 29, Niners 28. Now, of course, I know that's going to be wrong because we're going to see some field goals, but I think the scenario is going to be the important story.
I'm laughing because a lot of these score predictions are similar in terms of the 49ers score. I'll bring mine up in a minute, though. Really quick, we got Charlotte Candy says 21-19 Baltimore. Okay. We got Sammy Ruiz 23-17. A lot of people are saying it's going to be close. How about you, Aaron?
I think it's going to be close as well. I'm going 49ers 31, Ravens 23.
31-23. So my score prediction, I laughed at the 29 thing you said because mine's actually 28-17 Niners. And I was on with Ted Talks Ball, and his was kind of a similar score, but a little bit different, but just a bit closer. So, yeah, I mean, the Niners usually are putting up scores up in the 30 plus. They're scoring a lot of points this year. Brian Culp says 30-21. I know your defense is a bit tougher, and I know the 49ers do kind of step up and play a little bit better against the good teams too. I just think that the Niners have to be very opportunistic. Like last week, so the 49ers do lead the league in forcing turnovers, which is great. And that
turnover differential as well.
Yeah. What up, Ryan from No Border Sports says, what's up, everyone? Good to see you. Last week, though, we forced 3 fumbles, and we did not recover those fumbles. Now, it didn't bite them in the ass. They still won the game. But a game like this, man, if somebody fumbles, you better make the best out of the opportunity. Same with an interception. Don't drop it. And, it's going to be a very tough, hard-fought game. Of course, the Niner fans are going to say, hey, we're going to win. The Ravens fans are going to say they're going to win. And, much respect to your squad and your franchise. Yeah. And it's not going to be easy.
As long as everyone gets out healthy again, that's my biggest concern. Yeah. I'll count as.
Okay, here comes the bold prediction of the chat, guys. Here we go. From Joey Mahoney, 45-28 49ers. Purdy, 350 touchdowns, 5 TDs and 1 pick. Okay. From D Sizzle, I thought you nizzle. Oh, shizzle.
He says they're going to make a statement game just like the Eagles and Cowboys.
So he's saying D Sizzle saying 45-25. We got.
Crystal
we don't have a score prediction, but Crystal said Ravens going to destroy the 49ers. All right.
Let's go, Crystal.
Yeah, we got your cheering section from your little YouTube from your viewers that they're
like on see them. If the Ravens win, I swear to God, I will find a way to make that T-shirt with Mike Florio's face and words on it. I think that'll be just priceless. You'll see me on stream with it.
Yeah, so Sammy Ruiz says Niners have a great record at home. They usually do. Yes, they do. They did lose to the Bengals this year, but hopefully that's the last time we lose at home. Joey again with his bold prediction. Anything you guys want to say before we wrap this up? I just want to say really quick shout out to all the chatters, those who are coming from my channel, those who are watching from the Instagram, from the Twitter feed. We appreciate you all. Just make sure that you do hop on 49 My YouTube channel and hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate it if you're on a different platform watching for the first time. And hit up Darwin's Ravens channel. It's in the description box of this video. You can like and subscribe his channel. Hit up 49ers First Takes podcast channel. That's also in the description box of this video. And any final words for you guys or anything you guys got going on your channel so you guys want to hype up really quick?
Go ahead.
I just think that this is going to be a game, like he said, I hope everybody's healthy. I'd rather have a game with no excuses where you can't go back and say, well, we lost because so-and-so got knocked out or so-and-so wasn't playing. I mean, even with the Niners injuries on defense, they still have enough talent offensively to get the job done. So I'm just praying for a healthy game. Everybody's good and, no ejections. And really, I think the winner of this game is going to be the team that turns over the ball the most. I really think that turnovers play a huge key in games like this because they're two really, really competitively good teams who could see each other in I don't know, 2 months from now, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, however many weeks it is till the Super Bowl, 7 weeks. So I respect the Ravens. This is the biggest fear that I've had in an opposing team since the Philly game. But even in the Philly game, I had a feeling that the Niners might go and shock the world. So, yeah.
We got to shock the world.
Health and turnovers. Those are the two things that matter.
I was going to say, I am. It is a bit of a relief for me. I did mention this earlier that Keaton Mitchell wasn't playing. Just saying, he scares me with that speed that he has.
That was a heartbreaker. Keaton Mitchell was another one of those guys. My draft specials, I focused basically on guys that were going to be second round or later, even like laying off some of those guys that were borderline first to second rounds, like Rashee Rice, Josh Downs. I covered Campbell, the linebacker for Joe, but Keaton Mitchell, undrafted rookie free agent from Baltimore. I'm telling you, if I was NFL GM, Keaton Mitchell would not have left the draft without being taken by me. And again, it showed. It's one of the ones, if you go back and watch my draft special, my running back room looks like an all-pro scout.
There you go.
I got Devon at Kane, Tank Bigsby.
Devon A-Chain, man. I want the Niners to get him too.
Yeah. Keaton Mitchell, Tyjae Spears, a lot of really good guys. Evan Hull, who was, before the Jonathan Taylor contract extension was going to be taking over that backfield for the Colts. Keaton Mitchell was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, Joey Mahoney says, Joey Bosa. That says Nick Bosa will have 3 sacks. Hope so. That'd be cool. Christine Workman from the Instagram chat said 30-17 go Niners. I can't flash Instagram chats on the YouTube, but I did read that. I saw that, so giving you some shout outs right there. Crystal Gilliam says my best Christmas gift is the Ravens win this game against the 49ers. Okay, we hear you. Well,
yep. I'm hoping for it too, Gilliam. Levi's.
Hey, it's been great having you on.
Levi.
Yeah. His name is Levi, and we're playing at Levi Stadium. And great having you on. We did, we chopped it up a bit. It was either on Ryan's channel, Brian Kolb's channel, or David McNair's channel. One of those guys' channels. I jumped on, and you were on, and we talked it up on there. And I almost forgot your screen name, who you were. I knew you were this cool Ravens fan, but you jumped on my chat when I had Ryan Hensley on the channel, and then you were on my chat, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's that Ravens fan. Then I hit you up on Twitter, and here we are.
Chase Brown was actually featured on my special as well, Philly, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
I had 6 guys on my running back room, actually.
Okay, Chase Brown, there you go. I see that. And shout out to Aaron. Aaron's been on my channel multiple times. We've collabed a whole lot, and we're trying to do this as like a every Saturday type of thing. So many family things don't get in the way. It's always good having you on. So I might do a post-game show on Monday. If not, I'll try to do it on Tuesday. I'd like to do it after the game, but it might be a little late to do one, but we'll see. Either win or lose, I'll try to get on and do a post-game show on Monday. If not, I
want to say one thing to Eli.
Yeah.
It's always nice to be in a discussion with somebody that brings something to the table where you don't have to carry it. You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree.
Like the way the 49ers carry Jimmy G, or
something like that. No, it's nice that a person who's got he's educated, he's got his notes, he's prepared, he's energetic. It's always good. So I definitely appreciate that.
I'm trying. I played a little bit of semi-pro football myself. Like I said, I walked on to ECU. I grew up in the same area as Hunter Renfrow. I'm sure y'all know him, Oakland Raider wide receiver. He went to Soxty High School. I played against him a little bit growing up. So it's one of those ones. Like I've been around it before. Like I said, Tyler Thigpen played in our flag league. I've seen a little bit, but I'm on the edge. I'm not in part of the circles yet. I'm trying to get in the circle.
Okay, with that said, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I don't know. I think Hanukkah's over, but Merry Christmas, whatever, Kwanzaa, whatever.
I was just going to say Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah, whatever
holiday you celebrate out there with your family and friends. Enjoy yourselves. Do not drink and drive. Call an Uber. I'm very serious about that. Just stay off the road if you can. And thank you guys for watching 49er
I'll be live if y'all aren't going to be live on Christmas. I will be live on Christmas for that game. I call
okay. You're gonna be live on your channel. There you go. Shout out to all the chatters again. Thank you guys for watching 49er Minded, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. So keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Bang, bang, nine again. Let's go. Beat the Ravens. Say something, Levi. Well, talk
Ravens flock.
There you go. All right. Let's go. Niners. Come on, 49er Ravens. Let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
Yeah, area. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49
We from the Bay.
49
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49